In the modern world, we hide our demons, we bury our anxieties, our fears, and our sicknesses deep within the silence of the mind. But on this island, in the southern coastal veins of Sri Lanka, we do not hide them. We give them a face. Long before modern psychology, the ancients of this land understood a profound truth. To heal pain, you must first witness it. You must give it a name. You must look it in the eye. They disguised themselves to entertain, to protect, and to cure diseases believed to be born from unseen forces. Each transformation was a moment of pride, a sacred act passed from generation to generation. What they wore was not merely art, it was identity, it was ritual, it was power. They wore masks. In the southern villages, there is a rough sea season called Lankan. Since fishermen could not go to work, they used this free time to gather in the village shed, known as the Maduwa, to perform rituals.
ඇත්තටම කෝලම් රඟ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ දකුණු මුහුදු කරේ මිනිස්සු ඒගොල්ලන් වාරකම් කාලෙට ඒගොල්ලන්ට මුහුද යන්න බෑ ඒ කාලෙට තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ එකතු වෙලා මේවා පුරුදු පුහුණු වීම කරලා කෝලම් රඟ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ.
From these gatherings, 3 famous mask traditions were born.
වෙස්මුණු වර්ග 3ක් තියෙනවා. රාක්ෂ, කොලම්, සන්නි.
The Raksha, the protectors, the Sanni, the healers, and the Kolam, the storytellers. The origin of this art is rooted in the legend of the first king Mahasamlata and his wife Queen Manikpala. The legend tells us that the queen fell into a deep, inexplicable suffering. It was Doladuga, a pregnancy craving of the soul. She was consumed by a desire to see a dance that had never been performed. No physician could cure her melancholy. Seeing her pain, the god Sakra commanded Vishwakarma, the celestial architect, to intervene.
يعني සක්‍ර දෙවියෝ මේක දිවසින් දැකලා විශ්වකර්මයා මෙයාවලා කෝලම් නටන හැටි පුස්තකයක සඳහන් කරලා ඒ වගේම කෝලම් වෙස් මුණුමවලා රජුරුවන්ගේ උයනේ තිබ්බා කියලා තමයි ජනප්‍රවාදයෙන් එන කතාවේ සඳහන් වෙන්නේ.
The gods had sent down the entire blueprint of the art, the sacred manuals, the rhythms, and the faces of the characters themselves. The king ordered the performance as the drums beat and the stories unfolded. The queen laughed for the first time. Her spirit lifted, her cravings vanished, and she was healed. This myth established the foundation of the craft, the belief that beauty, rhythm, and ritual are not just entertainment, they are medicine. The first order of the masks deals with power. The Raksha.
ගුරු රාක්ෂ, නාග රාක්ෂ, මරු රාක්ෂ, පූර්ණක රාක්ෂ, ගරා රාක්ෂ විදිහට රාක්ෂ සෑහෙන තියෙනවා.
There are 24 forms of these beings in the ancient canon. To the outsider, they appear terrifying. But in the southern tradition, terror is a tool. The Naga Raksha commands the serpents. The Guru Raksha commands the skies. They are the guardians of the threshold. Their face expressions are designed to scare away the vastos, the bad luck and evil eye. They teach us that sometimes you must show your teeth to protect your peace. But when the protection fails, when the body falls out of rhythm, the village turns to the sun. The ancients believed illness was not just biological, it was energetic, a disruption by the Sanniyaku. To cure it, they performed the Sanniyakula. First, the stage must be purified by the 12 Pali attendants. Pandam Paliya clears the darkness with fire. Dummalapalya cleanses the air with resin smoke. Kendipalya sprinkles holy water to sanctify the ground. Then, the 18 Sanni demons arrive.
18 සන්නියෙන් කරන්නේ ඒ මුණු 18න් ලෙඩ සුව කිරීමට තමයි පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
Each representing a specific human ailment. Kana Sanni brings blindness. Bihiri Sanni brings deafness. Amukku Sanni brings vomiting. Pissu Sanni brings madness. The ritual is a profound psychological breakthrough. The dancer becomes the disease. The drummer acts as the therapist. They do not fight the demon, they negotiate. This is externalization. By watching the dancer, the patient sees their pain as a separate entity, something outside themselves that can be talked to and even laughed at. Finally, the chief demon, Mahakola, appears to seal the pact. Under his watch, the demons withdraw. The spirit is fed and sent away, unlocking the mind's power to heal the body. It is a masterclass in psychosomatic healing. If the Sanni masks heal the body, the Kolam masks heal the society. In the feudal era, the social hierarchy was rigid. The king was absolute. The colonial administrators were feared. The common man had no voice, except here in the Kolam Maduwa. The Kolam is the social mirror.
එදා තිබිච්ච පාලනයේ වැරදි තැන් පිළියුමු කරලා ඒවා විවේචනය කිරීමට තමයි කෝලම් පාවිච්චි කරේ. උසුළු විසුළු තමයි ගොඩක් තිබුණේ. ඉතින් ඒ දවස්වල ඔය ටෙලිවිෂන් රේඩියෝ අරමය තිබුණ නැහැ. මිනිස්සු උගාක් දුරට විනෝද වුණේ ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලලා තමයි.
It is a theater of satire. Look at Nonchiaka, the gossiping older woman representing the chaos of the village information. Look at the police column. His face is painted red, his expression arrogant, ridiculing the colonial authority. We see Jasa and Lenchina playing out the eternal struggles of marriage. But the mask also captured the mythic. We see the Singha column, the majestic line symbolizing the grace's origin. And deeper still, the performance wove in the Jataka tales. Stories like the Danuddara, teaching ancient Buddhist morals through drama.
ජාතක කතා වලින් කරේ අපේ ජීවිතවලට උපදේශයක් කියන එක. ඒතර උපදේශයකින් කතාන්දරේ නවත්තන කොලම් මඩුවක් නවත්තන එක තමයි සම්ප්‍රදායනුකූලව කරගෙන ගියේ.
And above them all, the Raja Kolama, the king and queen. Their masks are immense and serene, so heavy that the dancers can barely move. A subtle commentary on the burden of the throne. Ultimately, these dramas acted as a psychological pressure valve. They gave people a safe space to release their suppressed emotions by laughing at strict authority. It was the ancient equivalent of social media, a live feed of comedy, politics, and spirituality that bound the community together. The magic of the mask begins long before the dance. It begins in the forest. It begins with the kaduru tree. There is a profound philosophy hidden in the material itself. In its raw state, the wood of the kaduru is toxic. Its seeds contain strychnine. It is poison.
මේ කඳුළු ලිය ගන්නේ කඳුළු ලිය හැල්ලුයි. ගොඩක් හැල්ලුයි. ඒකෙන්ද කඳුළු ලිය වුණත් අපි කපන්න තියෙන කාලයක් තියෙනවා. මාසෙ පොයට තමයි කඳුළු ගහක් කපන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ ගහේ එහෙම කැපුවාම තමයි ගහ කාලයක් පවතින්නේ. එතකොට ඒව කපලා කුට්ටි කරලා වෙස් මුණු බර ගහලා දුමේ තමයි දාන්නේ. ඒ දුමේ සුමාන දෙකක් විතර දුම් වැදි තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේකේ අර එක සතෙක්වත් ඇතුල් වෙන ගතියක් නැහැ. ඒ දුමේ දැම්මහම ඒ සත්තු අරේමේ බෝ වෙන එක අඩුයි. කාල් පාන්තරයක් පවතිනවා.
The wood dies and is reborn. It transforms from a heavy, poisonous log into a material that is light as air, ready to hold a spirit. The tools of the trade have remained unchanged for centuries. The saw, the chisel, the mallet. Before sandpaper existed, the masters used the rough, dried skin of the talapat or the Maduwa to grind down the imperfections. To polish the final surface, they used the rough leaves of the motadelia tree. Nature used to shape nature. The painting is not random art. It is a strict discipline.
එතර ලැකර් නෑ ඒ කාලේ. ලැකර් මේව නෑ. මේ තීන්තා දාන්නේ දැන් ඔය රතු පාට හුළු එක දාන්න ගුරුගල් ඒව මේව අමරලා එතකොට මේක ගාන මේව තමයි දොරණ ගහ. දොරණ තෙල්. ඒ දොරණ තෙල් ගන්න පුළුවන් ගහෙන් එකපාරයි.
The colors are bound with dorna oil and clay to ensure they last for decades. Every measurement, the distance between the eyes, the curve of the nose is dictated by the Ambum Kavi.
සිරසනයි පෙන තුනකනු ගැසූ හඬ අකුණු ඒය ගුරුලෙක් මෙසැටි ලකුණු කියලා තමයි ගුරුල ගැන කියන්නේ.
These are ancient Sanskrit and Sinhala verses that act as the blueprint. The artisan recites the verse as he carves. If he deviates from the poem, the geometry fails. If the geometry fails, the mask is just wood. It has no power. This is the alchemy of Ambalangoda, turning poison into medicine and timber into gold. Knowledge this complex cannot be learned in a school. It is inherited through a direct bloodline. In the coastal sanctuary of Ambalangoda, this genealogy began over 200 years ago with the guardians Juan Vadu Edoris de Silva, Juan Vadu Endoris de Silva, and Juan Vadu Onderis de Silva Vijesuri. It was Onderis who passed the foundational knowledge of this craft to the legendary Juan Vadu Aryapala de Silva Vijesuri. Aryapala Gurunanse was a multidisciplinary master, serving as a healer, architect, Vedic astrologer, and artist. He codified the tradition, ensuring the survival of Ambum Kavi verses and the southern ritual forms. The weight of the fifth generation was led by his eldest son, Bandhusena Vijesuri, a master dancer, musician, and teacher who trained hundreds of students in these sacred rhythms. Today, his daughters represent his legacy in this documentary. We honor the living masters of the fifth generation. Bhadrananda Vijayasurya, the chief guardian of the Aryapala Mask Museum, and Juan Vadu Mahindapala Vijayasurya, an internationally awarded master craftsman and a living legend of craftsmanship. In 1976, the lineage anchored in the next heir, Juan Vadu Rukmal Vijayasurya, son of Mahindapal. This remains a direct line of craftsmanship and wisdom unbroken for over 2 centuries. Preservation requires more than memory. It requires the discipline of documentation. In the early 1980s, this remote cultural pocket attracted the attention of the wider world, leading to a landmark collaboration that would secure its future. Dr. Wolfgang May, an ethnologist from the Museum of Ethnology in Hamburg, arrived in Ambalangoda to partner with the Vijaysurya family. Supported by German research backings and institutional funding, they embarked on what the Germans called wissenschaftliche Dokumentation, a monumental scientific documentation to bridge the gap between ancient oral tradition and modern record. Together, they meticulously cataloged thousands of Ambumkai verses and mapped the complex rituals of the Sanni and Kolam traditions. This academic rigor identified the precise iconography of every demon, deity, and human character, ensuring no detail was lost to time. This fusion of Sri Lankan custodianship and European scholarship birthed the Aryapala Mask Museum. It stands today not as a tomb of the past, but as a living archive and a globally recognized research center. It remains the ultimate proof that the wisdom of the South is a sophisticated anthropological system equally valuable to the village healer and the global scholar. So, what is the ultimate future of the mask?
කෝලම් කියන අය සමාජයේ බහුතරයක් දකින්නේ විකට නාට්‍යයක් විදියට. ඒක බැලුවට පස්සේ අපි ඒකට hina වෙනවට අමතරව අපි තුලට එබෙන්න ඕන. දැන් කොළඹට ගිහිල්ලා අපි කෝලම් මඩුවක් කරාම කොළඹ මිනිස්සු hina වෙන්නේ නැහැ කෝලම් මඩුව. හේතුව තමයි මේ මිනිස්සු භාෂාව ගන්නවා. ඒතර එහෙම බෑ. ඒතර එහෙමනම් අපි මේක වෙනස් කළ යුතුයි. ඒතර වෙනස් කළ යුත්තේ සමාජයට සාරධර්ම ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් විදියට අපේ මේ නාට්‍ය කලාවේදී අපිට ඒ වගේ සමාජයේ තියෙන පොදු වැරදි අරගෙන පොදු දේවල් අරගෙන අලුත් කතා නිර්මාණය වෙනවා නම් හොඳයි කියලා තමයි මගේ අදහස.
It is no longer just a ritual for the night. It is a profound vessel for the seeker of the light. In a modern world that is increasingly disconnected from the rhythms of nature, the mask asks us a haunting question. What are you hiding? And do you finally have the courage to dance with it? Sri Lanka offers you more than a simple vacation. It offers a return to your own spiritual roots, a chance to witness a culture that heals itself through art, rhythm, and a deep understanding of the human mind. This is the wisdom of the ancients. This is the promise of Southnode. Travel to witness. Travel to heal. Travel to transform.